Morgan-Ferrero of Red Hot Copy, and thanks so much for joining me for Copywriting Makeovers. Bring the power of focus, fun, and fortune to your business. That's what copywriting is all about. It makes you money. Little tweaks go a really long way, and I'm going to show you in examples exactly what I'm talking about with that. So today we have a makeover that we're going to do with Kim Frazier. Isn't that a gorgeous picture? And we're going to be looking at her site, www.vibrancecoaching.com, and let's just jump right into it. Here it is. This is Vibrance Wellness Coaching at vibrancecoaching.com. And when I do a copywriting evaluation or I do a training or anything, the first thing that I do is to kind of take a look at what catches my eye first, right? And what's working and what could be improved upon. It takes a lot of guts to put your site up there for evaluation. I have to say that right off the bat. So kudos to you and to anyone else who allows somebody to give you advice. The good news is in the long run, you're going to end up strengthening your marketing when you take advice from people who've been there and done that. I have been a professional copywriter since the early 2000s, and one of my most favorite things is teaching other people how to take control of their own copy and showing them how little tiny tweaks make a huge difference in your bottom line. So, well, as I was saying, I take a little scan and see what I see first. One of the first things I notice is that Kim is using a WordPress blog foundation. And those are becoming very popular for very good reason. One of the reasons is because they plug in very seamlessly to the social networking and social media aspect, right? If we're talking Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and, of course, the RSS feed. And look, she's already got all that going on. Good job. That's really more important now than ever to be very integrative with your marketing when you're talking about online. That's certainly evolved quite a bit over the, wow, every year there's more technology and there's more things to juggle and learn and think about. However, the entree sort of your meal is always going to be the copy. And the reason is because that's your message. That's what represents you. And the more clear that is, then the better your business is going to do, frankly. So what has evolved when it comes to copy, and just give you a little background before I dive in here, is that the long sales letter that we all know that just scrolls on, right, forever and ever goes down, and you either scroll to the bottom to find out how much it is or whatever catches your eye along the way. You see if there's things that interest you that you might want to actually invest in something. Those long copy sales letters are still very much alive, and there's something that you really kind of need to learn to understand how to deconstruct the marketing that's going on today. I just want to put that out there, that the long copy sales letter is truly the blueprint of all of the marketing. What blogs do is they take it and they break it up. So you have to click around a little bit. There's more interactivity, which is fine on the Internet because the Internet is much more of, it's evolved into more of a browsing and bouncing around kind of medium than just like a sitting and reading medium. We also read 25% slower online, partly because of the glow of the screen, but also just because the distance is set unless you're using your laptop. But at any rate, things are a little different when you're talking about online experiences, and yet online experiences are really what's driving more and more sales. If you don't have an online presence, a lot of people kind of question how serious you are about business. So let's take a closer look at what Kim's got going on. This is the home page we're at, and the first thing that my eye comes to is this scrolling graphic. While it's beautiful and it's bright, it's also really distracting. Anytime I want to go here to my entree. I keep being pulled back up to something that really doesn't give me any nutrition, any substance. It's pretty. That's it. But it's taken up a lot of valuable real estate. Right up here in the top is where you want your strongest message, and this, in my opinion, could be just audio. I love, first of all, that we have these social media icons. It makes it very clear and easy to stay connected with Vibrance Coaching. And I love the opt-in. Kim is building her email address and making sure that you are, permission-based, of course, in connection with her by giving you a free special report. She calls it a mini ebook, which I actually like better. Special report has come a little tired. And I love this title, 7 Steps to Look Better, Feel Better, and Make Your Pants Fit Better. I mean, who doesn't want that? And she mentions that she won't share your info, which, who wants spam? And then she has a privacy policy if we want to have a look at that. And there it is. We don't really want to have a look at it. We're getting back to the copy. So you see, again, your eye gets drawn to this lovely lady with the scarf. And I want to get into the copy. And anytime I go down, there's something new. I feel like it's shiny. I see something else. And you can tell, at least for me, it's quite distracting. So this, Take Back Your Vibrance, this is really sort of the kernel, the anchor of the sales page, because this is where you want to get them into knowing, hey, what is Vibrance Coaching all about? And you also get to know Kim. Now I'm going to focus this on just this part of the copy, okay? It's a paragraph, and it sounds like, oh, I'm not going to give you a whole lot. You just wait. You take notes, because we're talking about over 500 words, which is the size of many articles. Well, let's say 500 characters with spaces. But at any rate, it's got a lot there. So what I've done is isolated this particular piece of the copy, and I put it up here. And some of it I actually, I changed it before I got on the phone with you. I actually made my little updates and my recommendations before you were here, so it's easier for me to follow along. So at any rate, let's just read this from Kim's site, shall we? Many women in midlife struggle with issues such as weight gain, loss of mental clarity, lack of energy, or other issues related to perimenopause and menopause. There's no question that there are some distinct physiological events that are occurring at this time in life that, along with the demanding lifestyles that most of us lead, can lead to feeling overwhelmed or defeated. However, there are solutions, and one of the quickest and most effective ways to reach your goals is to partner with your own private wellness coach. So that is a pretty complete paragraph. She's laying it out. If you're having this problem, this is how you fix it. You get your own private wellness coach, and you can learn more by clicking here. We're not going to do that right now. However, I am going to have a look at what I have done as far as the markups. By the way, before I get into this, there's nothing wrong with this copy at all. It's very much to the point, and it works. I think it's a little stiff sounding because it seems like Kim has a fun side. I mean, look at it. It's just a friendly picture, and her audience is women who are in their, lower to mid 50s, I'm guessing, or 40s to 50s. And so, I have no problem with her talking sort of like a girlfriend. And these are my choices. They don't have to be Kim's, and they may not be Kim's. I think I made a few. Okay, this is what I did as far as making changes. Don't freak out, please. A lot of the changes that I made are personal choices that I made. And I'm going to tell you why I made each of them as I go through. Okay, so final, showing the markup. It looks a little, here's the final markup. Okay, and then I'm going to go through exactly what I did. to get there. All right, so it's a little more open. That may not work on a blog only because I see that there is limited space, but if you get rid of that picture, hey, you've got more space right away. So you can see that it takes up more space. I really only added about 150 characters with spaces to this. I added a few bullets to just free up the white space a little and to bring it more to them. Yes, it actually was brought to them. It was a benefit-oriented piece of copy already. However, here's what I wrote in contrast, and then I'll show you where I made changes. Ladies, ever feel like you're having a few too many struggles as you hit midlife? Well, when we hit perimenopause and menopause, we're in for a lot of issues we may not have had to deal with before. You know, things like unwanted extra pounds, loss of mental clarity, less energy than we used to have, and more. There's no question there are distinct physiological events happening at this time in life. Along with the demanding lifestyles most of us lead, it's easy to feel overwhelmed or defeated. The good news is there are effective solutions at work. One of the fastest ways to get control of your life and reach your goals is to partner with your very own private wellness coach. So what I've done to make it a little different is, first of all, I read it out loud. And so when I start to stumble on the words, I might want to think about reevaluating the length of the sentences. You want to keep the sentences short and the paragraph short as well. I identify who it is right away, ladies, duh. Obviously, we're the ones going through the perimenopause and the menopause. And I just tried to use a little bit more of a conversational tone. I moved some of the things around, just switched out a few words. But again, what was already written, there was nothing really wrong with it. It just didn't have that friendly, connecting tone that I believe Kim could very easily work with. I did some editing. Let me just show you, shall I? Here we go. Okay, here we go. Now, I changed out when many women in midlife struggle with issues such as weight gain and blah, blah, blah. And instead I replaced it with this entire line of well, I didn't write all of this. There's also or other issues related to perimenopause and menopause, right? So I just made it a little more conversational. Asking a question, do you feel this way? Because the question was kind of posed already. Even though I recommend when you're writing your copy to think of one single person and write to that person like a good girlfriend or a close friend that you're talking to, sometimes it's a little too in your face to say, you have these problems, you have unwanted extra pounds, you have loss of mental clarity, you have less energy. So I've switched the pronoun back and forth. Now, the English teachers don't like this, so that's how we talk, and that's how you should be writing, how you talk, because that's what makes the connection, it builds a relationship, and ultimately, hopefully, a sale, or you get someone in your community and they will recommend you. But good things happen from relationship building. So writing like you talk is a good thing. So notice this. Ever feel like you're having too many struggles as you hit midlife? Because I'm asking a direct question. Okay, so now you know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to women who are in their midlife who are having physiological issues. And then I take it back to us, to we. When we hit menopause and or perimenopause and menopause, we're in for a lot of issues. And again, these were things that were already in the copy. I just bulleted them out and switched a few of the words. It said there is no question that there are distinct physiological events that are occurring at this time. That was what was there before, and I just conversationed it up. There's no question there are distinct physiological events happening at this time. It's like, would you say things that are occurring, or would you say things that are happening? So that's your rule of thumb when you're making tweaks to your copy, is to write it like you're telling it to a friend. It's that easy, frankly. And it's back to the we, and that is, along with the demanding lifestyles most of us lead, it's easy to feel, and what was there before? Well, I'm going to have to go backwards here and look at the original. Bear with me on this. All right, so have a look. There's no question that there are some distinct physiological events that are occurring at this time in life that, along with the demanding lifestyles that most of us lead, can lead to feeling overwhelmed or defeated. So you see, I moved some things around a little bit. I went through and dieted out the that. Very often we sprinkle that word in more often than is necessary. And see, however, again, that's not a word that we necessarily say when we're having a talk with a girlfriend, so I audio that. There are solutions, and one of the quickest and most effective. Quickest is perfectly legitimate, but easy and fast are just shorter words that have a little bit more of a punch, and they're easier to read out loud. The ways you can reach your goal is to partner with your own private wellness coach. And then click here to learn more. Then we go on to what's more of her sales page and bullets, and I invite you to check that out. We're not going to have time to get into all that at vibrancecoaching.com. And let's look once again at what I put in and see how it's different. The good news is there are effective solutions that work. So I moved the effective to a different part, that's all. Nothing major. And that work, you could arguably delete that, but it's sort of the way that we talk, the way I talk. So I put it in. One of the fastest ways to get control of your life and reach your goals is to partner with your very own private wellness coach. So it just sounds a little more personal, in my opinion, when it's done that way. And let's have one more look at the final that I've been recommending. There you are. Ladies, ever feel like you're having a few too many struggles as you hit midlife? Well, when we hit perimenopause and menopause, we're in for a lot of issues we may not have had to deal with before. Things like unwanted extra pounds, loss of mental clarity, less energy than we used to have, and more. There's no question there are distinct physiological events happening at this time in life. Because every time I say this and I stumble, I would actually recommend looking a little harder at this sentence and seeing if it actually fits. That's another thing about copy that is miraculous. When you write it, it's very rare that it's the first draft that you write is the one that you're going to end up with. And what I do often, and my other colleagues and the gurus and anybody who knows how to write copy, is that we'll actually set it aside, and then we'll come back to it. And it's like you're a brand new person reading it. It's very interesting, the kinds of changes that you might make. So what you're looking at today might be something very different that I would personally write in 2 days from now, or that I may personally write in another week. Copy is an evolving process, but you don't want to evolve forever. I mean, when it's good, get it out there. You don't want to make that hold you back. So that's that little blurb. I hope that helps you out. What I want to do now is just share some lessons that I hope you gleaned from this. The first is make your copy the main focus and the message. Bells and whistles are cool, but you don't want to distract from you. It's really about you being the solution to their problems. And when you have too much other stuff going on, it's distracting. Make sure your copy is benefit-oriented. Now, this one was, but it's a huge mistake a lot of marketers miss. And I can't even really call them marketers. They're trying, but it's a big piece of the puzzle that needs to be there. So make sure it's benefit-oriented. You're not selling your services. You're not selling a product. You're selling a feeling. These people want to look better. They want to feel better. They want to have more time, more youth, more money, whatever it is. They want something that's going to make them feel good, right? So make sure that that's reflected in your copy and that it's not all about you, that it's about them. And again, this site did not do that. This site was very good at being benefit-oriented. It was not just all about Kim in any way. It certainly had credibility in her story, but she did a nice job with that. Keep it cash. When you write your copy, as I was mentioning, think of somebody that you're writing to specifically, and then just deliver that copy to her. And you'll end up sounding so much more incredibly connecting and so much more conversational that it's going to be a joy to read what you've got out there. And they're going to want more, and that's what you want. So don't make it too stiff. And these are just some tips, just all around tips, easy peasy things to spit shine your copy. Read your copy out loud, as I mentioned. A lot of times you'll think you see words or commas or spaces that aren't really there, and until you actually read it out loud, you don't know to put them in. And diet out unnecessary words, and my suggestion was go through and see where you can get rid of that. The word that is often just a ridiculous word that doesn't need to be there. Shorten your sentences. Don't be afraid of contractions. As a journalism student, and it also, well, Kim is as well, by the way. We went to the same school. I didn't even know that. But at any rate, a lot of times we get very formal because we're taught that contractions and following the proper English rules are the way to do things. And sometimes it just messes up with our marketing because we don't talk the way that we're taught to speak in school, and that's much more important. It's more important for you to have a successful business than it is for you to be a scholar, unless that's what you're doing. And then finally, invite her to take a clear action. You need a call to action. So don't make her guess what you want her to do. Connect the dots for her. So Kim did a really good job of saying, this is what you need. Click here to learn more. And then on the next page that I didn't go through, there were bullets, and it was very easy to read. And then there was I kind of knew she wanted me to sign up somehow to get my own personal wellness coach, but I wasn't sure exactly what she wanted me to do. So just a simple sentence like, check out our programs to see what might work for you. Anything, just real basic, but don't make me think of it. You tell me. You tell me. I'm there at your mercy and being guided. So make sure there's a clear call to action. I hope this has been useful for you. This is Lorrie Morgan-Ferrero signing off from Red Hot Copy, and happy sales. Bye-bye.